Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be, in all these various time zones and whatnot that we're probably alive and well on. Wow, the camera in the corner sucks. Tonight, thinking Christmassy, but I'm also thinking, well, so I've got this new little grit pedal down yonder. Grit pedal meaning distortion box. That says it's a distortion. I think there's a distinction here between distortion and overdrive, and it's definitely more of a higher gain overdrive. It's not really, distortion. It's nice though. That's exactly what I'm using right now. In other news, I have retubed. Well, hi, Chris, probably. I have retubed my Ironheart, and I am extraordinarily happy about the results of it. Yes, I'm not actually using its distortion right now, but I'll get to that at some point, I'm sure. It just plays very lovely. Oh, hey, man, how you doing? I see you there. So, yes, and I heard you, I'm assuming it was you on the WhatsApp, my donging sound. Ah, yeah, no, that wasn't you. Ah, wonder what that was. Could be an email. I'm not sure. Oh no, regular text message. Oh, my good buddy talking about the Christmas card from the other week. So let's see. This is the best thing I've ever seen. Yes, well, my services are available for a very steep fee to alternate people. Thanks for shopping me around. LOL. No, I love the compliments. Keep them coming. So, yeah, made a Christmas card the other year, or for this. Oh, no, it was not you. No, it's okay. It's just that our back and forths oft times run into the Monday streams, and it's cool. It's cool. I'm cool with it. It's good. But allow me to share screen here really quickly and bring up the Joel card. He's showing it off. I might as well show it off, too. Keep in mind, this was taken from Deathstalkers 2. And there were several finals, but Final 5 is the actual card. Yeah, there. And that's just, of course, this is just, Photoshop all over the place. And I'm actually extremely happy about it. It's one of the better ones I've done, as bad a Photoshop as I like to make things. I like to make terrible Photoshops, but I actually try to be a little serious with his. Because he was like best man at my wedding. So so now that he's sending out the Christmas cards, I might as well do right by him. Anyway, so that's that, and I've seen the actually on the other side it says slaying the holidays or something like that. But they just did a great job with the whole thing. And as far as I'm concerned, I'll do this again every year if they want me to. It's fun. So at any rate, but he was just getting hold of me, letting me know that friends that are seeing it are really happy about it. So anyway, this is the Moen, M-O-E-N, Deep Blue Distortion. It's on the lighter gain setting. It's very rock and roll. I think it's fantastic too. Thank you. Well, let's play some Christmas stuff. I mean, 'tis the season after all. Let's start it with something I covered back, I think it was in 2015, on a channel that I don't even have anymore. I do. I just don't know what the login is to it. Honestly, it's also named Kirk's Chop Shop, but it's the original Kirk's Chop Shop, so it actually says Kirk's Chop Shop in the @ like I said, I didn't intend to really pursue it. I think the last time I was in there it was 2017, and I couldn't remember how to log in when I went to start this channel. So I'm like, screw it. I'll just start something else. So I did. I started something else. Let's go back to the Sheen. There we go. Yeah. Haha. So we're trying something new today for anybody who is interested in the, left-hand side of things with the volume up. Should work out all right. Maybe I'll have to move a little. I'm not sure, but I can also move this, but I'm afraid of that happening, or gratuitous crotch shots, or But so we're doing the mobile fright cam today. Actually, that might not be a bad angle right there. So we'll try that. I just won't have much to do with the mouse. All right. Well, at any rate, so that there. Yeah, that's not bad. We'll try that. I like that. And it's not really showing up in the main webcam either, so that's pretty okay. At any rate, so what's that guy's name anyway? Who did this? Leroy Anderson. Sleigh Ride. I'm starting out with a really nice kind of a add 6, but you know, it's really just kind of stacked 4s and a 5, 4, 5. So it's essentially like a power chord, and you're adding. Essentially, that's the 5, 4, 5 octave. Playing it this way is harder, but at the same time kind of easier, because if you keep your picking the same, this comes up later on, you know. So is actually where it comes up later on. So this is how it starts. And then there's a lot of stuff kind of going on in the background, like, well, let's see. How would that go? Or with, or for a bass part, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to kind of worry about the main melody. So this is an F, that is a C, excuse me, that is a B flat, probably really an A sharp, and another F. Then we're just saying hello to Hopper, making a lot of cuteness happen right now. He is very clingy tonight. And oh, I am exhausted. I got up at like 3:30 this morning. Technically, I think I got up at 3. But, yeah, I had to get up and go in early and do some filming. And I did. And then I got off at about 2:30 and home. All right, great. And then I kind of took a micro nap here. I actually thought about streaming early, but it didn't happen. Anyway, so seems how we have a second camera angle. This is kind of a bonus. So and for that, we're literally just going down F, C, F, C. And why did I change it from this? Because I wanted to. Then we start the main melody that everybody loves to hear just about as much as Mariah Carey, you know, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Now, isn't that lovely? So, micronap. Oh, dude, I didn't even mean to. I was just narcoleptic. It just... it happened. So, yeah, lunchtime nap instead of test. Oh, snowblower, neato. Yeah, well, you know, snowblowing and guitar time can substitute for a nap, as both are invigorating. The guitar time for me was not invigorating. I basically played a little bit this afternoon, and I played great. And I'm like, man, I should stream now. And I didn't. And now I'm not playing as well because, you know, you wake up and you're not the same person that you were before you took the nap. It's just the way it is. That's the way things work. Look at this guy. He's just a hover buddy. Wants the pets. That's it. He's just a good boy. There's a good boy. Is that too much? Sorry, kitty. No, he's good. Probably going to show everybody in the world his butt today. Hope not. But at any rate, so on with this. You going to let me play? Nope. Whiskers forward. Him just a happy guy. Yeah. You big old oaf. So, anyway. So all this is, it's pentatonic. And what pentatonic? I mean, if you wanted to really kind of get down to brass tacks, it's G minor. But it isn't really G minor. It's more like an F, you know, fourth mode the pentatonic here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth mode. It's just really happy. And to me, it's like major pentatonic. But that is not it's essentially. And later on, when it's like, yeah, that little, that's how it goes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, death and Christmas music have an awful lot in common. Oh, totally do. Yeah, like a brooding cadence to Silent Night if we wanted to do it in minor. Instead of like... How would that go? It's literally. Okay, so we're figuring that out. Round. No. Yes, I think that's good enough. Have to do the harmonization, If you don't, it's just wrong. You have to. Gotta get that in there. Peace. Or just to kind of suss it a little, which is kind of a nice, unexpected. Tonality, but it's a nice tonality. And then, how would that be? Yes, we'd have to do it like that. Gotta get that in there. No. How would that go? Oh, I guess it would be here. No. Of course, that's not right, so. No. I'll figure that out. So, kind of hyper. Oh, yeah, always. Something you can practice too. So with all this, it's just natural to me. After that stint with classical, in fact, that's when I learned this thing. It was 2009. Just a couple of years. No, was it 2009? Yeah, I think it was 2009. It was just a couple of years right after my classical stint, and I had picked up during that time the ability to downpick here and pick here, because this to me is a lot like moving a thumb. Together, it's a lot like just moving the thumb. So the rest of it just kind of falls into place. Or you could do, if you wanted to, let's see. Lovely. God dang, how did that go? I'm pretty sure it was. Oh, E. Now, that's it. Oh my God. So that's a good way to practice, by the way, if you're just going to go ahead and do separate notes. I do want you to understand that hybrid picking or taking on any new technique will affect your other techniques if you only approach those techniques. I didn't say that right at all. If I were to stop and just start playing a lot of hybrid picked lines, instead of doing things like this, or things like that, you know, and just picking, if I started doing hybrid picking instead, poorly, same notes. It'd be, you will lose a little bit from the other in the short term unless you realize that you still need to practice something that you've already been able to do. All right, what do we got here? North Hill bass guy. Yes, 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 yes. What about hybrid picking? So, in the meantime, let's see. Louie Louie, not often cited as being the root of all things. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, it goes with any technique, exactly. But for this in particular, it did have some detrimental ramifications for me. Because a lot of my string crossing ability, you know, really took a real nosedive for a while. Especially on if I started with a downstroke. Because almost all of my upstrokes, when crossing strings, I replaced with hybrid picks. You know, so... one of the ways I got over that and around that is to just start everything with an upstroke. And that just fixed everything. It just fixed it. So that made me really, really happy. But finger looking good. Whatever, man. Of course. Finger looking good is good. I actually, Tim, if you're watching, I really don't know what you're talking about. So, okay. But anyway, let's see. So the hybrid picking thing. Easy ways to go about like improving. If you have any ambitions, Chris, of trying to do this stuff, you know, grab a guitar because it's time to play. Let's go. So let's do things that are starting like what I was just doing with the Silent Night. Which I was going to play in minor, by the way, and instead of doing it here, we could just change this to, yeah, or it's a little bit different. So if I was to do it here, though, that's it. No, it would be totally, yeah. So that's just nice reharmonization. But yep, grab a guitar. And all I'm doing is down, up, up, up. You could do it the other way. But that's with pinky and everything. You could do, cross it up. One finger. If you wanted to. But the essential thing is to hold a chord and to play the notes in that chord separately. In other words, arpeggiate. Or even don't arpeggiate. Play the notes just by plucking all the strings. But that's that. If I was to do like single note stuff, maybe I should actually hold that note. Well, do a lot of octaves with this. So that is much faster than just trying to pick back up. I mean, I can do it, but I prefer, because that puts me in a great position to just start going. That kind of stuff. Fun. Some like with Fairies Wear Boots. Yeah. I had less problems with this on Saturday. Yeah, see, every time. You can start getting all Brad Gillisy on that. But this is the part. So if you're playing the octaves, you watch Tony Iommi. He's not playing like I thought he was last week. After the stream, I invested a little bit more time, of course, in learning the stuff. But I watched him, and he's just holding his hand like this, which means the octaves are here. And that is a kind of a classical approach to octaves. It's not all of them, but you know, if you, there we go. Yeah, it's much more common to find them in classical, like a classical guitar approach. So for this, that's really, really perfect for it, because somehow muting those two strings and just picking the notes, that's not going to be easy. I mean, again, I can do it. But you always have this little ringing in the background. That's your hello? With the... or the octaves. Well, hello to you all, too. Feeling good. Oh, tubes. So I've been playing on this deep blue pedal for a little bit now. How's my levels? A little low. And a boost. It's got a lovely sound. Oh, well. Seventeenth fret, so, but you have to pluck it. 17th fret, so, but you have to pluck it and touch here while the string still has a lot of energy. Energy. So you can't just kind of go blah and then expect it to, you know, to work later on. So that doesn't really work. But the 5 does. So also the 12 to 5. That's it. That's just fun. Fun little noises. But it's a really neat noise. It's a very exciting sound to make. Like just hit both like fifth fret harmonics on the G and the B, and then to hit their third octave harmonica. It was pretty nifty, I must say. So, but I haven't messed with the sound at all. It's essentially the same as it was the last time it was working. And it's just as hot rod Marshall as I could hope, but better than it used to be. It's got a lot more saturation and simultaneously definition. So, it's good. It's really, really good. I'm not even on the lead channel. I got just, a boosted rhythm with everything pretty much at 5. And a little that way on 5. And about like there on the treble. Everything else, pretty close to 5. So... fun. Did you ever notice that this kind of looks like a face? Like you got 2 little eyeballs here. And that's just kind of like sticking the tongue out, like not really concentrating, guys. Started to notice that a little while ago. I don't think I've ever brought it up, but I'm sure other people have noticed. It can't just be me. I mean, the same goes with Whitey Jackson, and which I mentioned in a post. It's for sale. If anybody would be inclined to Whitey, I'd be happy to try to get it in your hands, and if it possible, not to have to ship it, that would be even better. But serious inquiries, if you'd like. But what do we got here? But essentially, Blackula, it's the Black Jackson, is because it's Halloween and Jackson, and it's awesome and black. So anyway, that one. What was I going to say about that? Yeah, you can't really see it, but it's got the same thing. I think all Jacksons kind of had the same, type of deal here. Yeah. So, it's good enough. So let's talk about more Christmas stuffs. I mean, I've already kind of covered the Silent Night stuff with a unintentional hybrid picking in involvement, but it's just something I do. Ooh, that's much louder. But I think there's some parts that I didn't cover from Sleigh Ride, which everybody should know, Sleigh Ride. So, how do they go? See, of course, like I said, it's been since 2015, so I have to remember it. So, we're seeing that because of the kitty. Hello, kitty. And for anybody concerned, Marcus is doing a little better. He seems more spry and lively, for sure, and not really in a lot of, like, weird, crumple, I'm not feeling good, that kind of thing. You can tell. He is feeling a little more spirited, and I'm very happy about that. He's not in here right now, of course, but, Hopper is. He's my boy. But if I went into the kitchen, he'd follow me right along. That's what he does. So, good boy. So, you're out. Well, good night, Chris. Take care. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So, as the story goes, let me get back to the other non-super distortion saturation thing, because I really did like what I got going on with this. Let's give it a little more beans, though. Because we can. Right. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, let's go. So essentially, you're playing just an F sharp, a G, and a D. Backwards. So you could do that. But it doesn't have the same, type of thing. But if you did... Alright. Would work fine. Or if you wanted to do a higher. Just to see, that's the whole cool thing about music, is that you can take parts and just kind of relearn notes that exist in those parts in different places, and do things that don't sound like the thing that you've taken these parts from. So once again, this we could do. I mean, we could. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. And then, yeah. And it has no bearing. It sounds nothing like. So we're heading down what is essentially a 7, but ending it right there on the B note. D, D flat, A, F sharp to B. Oh, it's a lovely thing. It does kind of fit, yeah. I mean, reharmonization is a neat tool, but we're not really reharmonizing. We're just finding out. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. We would be playing the same parts in different octaves. Danny Spitz had a thing about that a while ago. We can talk about that in a second. But going on with this, we essentially now go down. It's the same thing. We're basically just taking it straight down 2 frets. Then we're going to take off from the beginning again with that. But we're doing it down here now. C, G, F, and C. F, C, F. Yeah. And you can all you like if you prefer. So I can't. It's not supposed to do that, but you can do it. I mean, if you can make it happen, you're good. What's a different octave? Okay, so if I'm playing something around here, for instance, and let's just say that that's where it's played, I could play that in a different octave. Same notes, played in a different spot. So what I was doing with this, I was taking these 2 notes and moving them up an octave and keeping that note, which sounds different. Dang it. Different octave. So, same note, octave higher. Oh, so I'll tell you when one octave ends, when you get to the next one. That's it. So, if I was to do this, go 1 octave higher, which was actually, sorry. I don't know what to do there. So. Cheesy and generic, but it fits. One octave higher. Easy as pie. So that's that. I know it's almost silly, isn't it? It's fun though. Yeah, let's see what else we have. So there's some stuff. I mean, there really isn't anything that I've been working on, except for I've been working on a tune that's tuned to C sharp that I'm calling Cloud Chamber, and I'm naming it after a buddy of mine that I'm working with on the weekends named Tim. And there's a reason why it's called Cloud Chamber. And he'll hear it on Saturday. But until then, I have no wants to go ahead and debut it here. This is great for giving more creative options for your melodies. Yes, well said. Extremely well said. So reharmonization is one thing. Reharmonization is basically taking notes of a chord, like here, and maybe let's do the standard Louie Louie thing. But let's assign major or minors to these. So major. So what is some of this stuff? So okay. Okay, wait a minute. So let's play the next two chords in inversions. The first inversion would be just putting the third on top. Well, not the top here. That's the third. Basically on the bass. Also can play it this way. That's just an octave of it. And we'll do the same thing on the next one. Before you know it, we have Van Halen. It's the same. So, but it's reharmonization. What I was talking about in playing things in different octaves was to just try to throw off or cast aside the standard approach, which is just learn the notes exactly by rote. No. Try other places too, because it opens up melodic ideas. So, creative options, right? Exactly. So, let's see. Oh, signed into chat. Why am I not signed into chat? I got to verify it's me, apparently. Good times. Give me a second, guys. Well, that happened awfully suddenly, and nothing touched the keyboard. Boy, that's just fun, I think, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. I put in a new password for this particular account. It's a good one. And, of course, two-step verification. Go ahead. Yes, it's me. Oh, most excellent, Tim. Thank you. Ah, look, I'm back. Well, I don't know if you know I'm back or not, but, you know, I'm here. So that's kind of nice. Well, let's see here. But, yeah, so let's try Dave Mustaine on Go to Hell. It's kind of a quick question and answer. It's not so much of a question and answer, but it's kind of played like question and answer. If I could do it. Nope. So he goes back and forth, right? So, oh, buddy, thank you very much, dude. Joe Hansen guitar. I might check you out and, sub back. But I appreciate the fact that you think that this is helpful. So this whole thing with the, because I try. I really do try. So... But I haven't even tried to do that, So, but you get the general idea. You're breaking this up, so it's not just. It's a way of moving it around, right? So the same thing goes with what I was doing here with the. But doing this here, and moving that there, and keeping this here, which. Instead of going here, we go here. We could do it in the opposite. I mean, instead of, let's go up an octave. But what's an easier place to do that? Which would be weird. But you can do it. And it just, it helps. It's just move it around, see what you can find. It's also a great way to help memorize your fretboard. So exercises like this that I just kind of did here. Where's the next one? It's up here. But it's not really, And then just kind of, scoot back and forth. In fact, that's an excellent... Right, but try to shoot for the right ones. And you can do it in the octave fashion as well. It's hard. That's hard to do. but you know, I'm making no bones about it. That's actually difficult. So if you'll pardon me, I'm now beginning to get warm, and you know the hat must go. So hi, Hopper, good boy. So yeah, let's see here. Any questions? Zuhair, before I think I've talked to you about actually shooting for wrong notes. Because you're always one note away from a right one, for one, but to always shoot for, like, the chord tones that you were on. And, you know, yes, this is a good place to stop. Well, how pentatonic. But... Right. And anyway, what was I saying though about going for the wrong note? And I mean this: go for notes that aren't supposed to be there in order to figure out how to make them right quickly. But that's the you know, kind of the crux of that thing. So if I was to goof about like I was doing just a minute ago. That is nowhere near, but it is a blue note. So you can figure out ways of getting around that. So if I... This pull... Oh, the Christmas... Yes, the happy Christmas music. So name a sad Christmas song besides, you know, the Godfather theme. Sure. No, the... so this is all that... Shoot. Yeah. No, it's not the Godfather theme, I'm afraid. And the other thing, I don't know what that was. I mean, you can use for anything, but so no, the happy Christmas music. I'm trying to get in the spirit. So got you know, Scully over there with a you know, with a Santa hat on with a lot of sequins, and I've got the red lights in the background, and you know, all that kind of stuff. Why red? Okay, well, I've got a good one for this. The other year, I thought that it was the best idea to go ahead and have a red bedecked white Christmas tree. And no, it's actually kind of hellish. So we went back to fully multicolored lights, and it was pretty, but kind of wrong. You know, it's not what my wife and I grew up with, and it's not what my kid grew up with either. And everybody was like, yeah, let's go back to fully colored ones. And then, and this is a little bit ago, so the years wise. My kid took the white Christmas tree. Their cats destroyed it, so that's no longer around. We have another one. We used to get the real ones, but that's a lot of work, and you have to water them. And, so might as well just put them in. We have a cat that destroys them now anyway. Alan, the cat that ruined Christmas. But so I'm trying to get, you know, a little more spirited, and I thought, you know, there's this week and next week, and then you know, that's it. You know, Monday is the last stream before Christmas, and it's the last stream before the New Year. Right after that, you know, 1 week later. But, you know, so what am I going to do tonight? Well, let's talk Christmas music. Christmas music fun, and always, you know, kind of interesting because, you know, guitar, if you work it out, that whole type of deal is... And I only reason why I do that, by the way, that's an Adrian Legg-ism. Him just... It sounds like 80s cheesy television. I love it. So, yeah. Oh, here's one for you. Let me go clean. Thank you. That's kind of a... Yeah, well, thank you, man. So this deal with the... Turn up a hair. That'll do. Silent Night. But in a happy kind of a way. I mean, we could do sad. I mean, just did that a little while ago. Something went very wrong that silent night. It's really kind of a leap. And I do that. Pick, pick. Finger, finger. No. It is D. But here. Oh, no. Hey, but you know, something went very wrong that silent night again. There it is. Yeah. You know, really nice. Yeah, pretty melodic, good stuff. I had a reason for talking about that. It had nothing to do with The Godfather. Let's see. The reharmonization. So notice the thing here with that we can change it to minor very easily by changing where this is. We flatten that major 3. And then we're going to flatten. We don't have to, but, you know, we could do it like this. Then it's kind of like funk, you know. I don't care for that. So let's go ahead and flatten that as well. So instead of being a nice major for the D, we'll have a minor for the D. And now we're in a fully minor key, so... which I would probably play differently. I'd still do this. There we go. So it's been since 2009, you know, since I did any of this. So it's been a bit, and I have to remember what my fingers remember, so, or the way my fingers remember it. But this is also a great way of saying I could do it there, or there, or I mean I could really change some stuff and. Yeah. That. Oh, and if you haven't heard Adrian Legg, by the way, very, very high recommendations. Some of the highest recommendations for any acoustic music. He's really kind of a phenomenal freak of nature, although the majority of his stuff doesn't come off as too terribly difficult when you watch him play it. It's mostly because of altered tunings. But he plays by tuning machine more than anyone else I've ever seen. And he's got, you know, like these banjo tuners that will raise or like lower pitches, mostly lower, but raise or lower pitches depending on how you have them set. And so he'll just be back here flipping gears all over the place. Oh, Legg, L-E-G-G, Adrian Legg. I recommend I have it on CD, so it's called something in Tall Tales. High Strung Tall Tales, that's it. So, and you heard with, yes, Adrian Legg, extremely good. So, High Strung Tall Tales, absolutely fantastic. And I will show you. Oh, look at this. Look, you can't see it, but you will in a second. Yes. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Ha. It's on its way. How nice. All right. So everybody's seen my email now. Let's do Adrian Legg. High Strung Tall Tales. I think. Seriously, though, this guy, yeah, that's it right there. This guy's amazing. It's all acoustic. Just this nice British bloke. The thing about him that makes him so interesting is he's always so orchestral with everything that he does. And it's all acoustic. Expect happiness. So here, let's go here and watch him kind of fiddle around with some stuff.
I still got a shout.
Watch them. There's those tuners I was talking about. Now, I can't play like him, but I really like his playing. I actually have a lot of influences like that. Of course, I never tried to be a country picker. Doesn't look like he's going to be doing too much of the play-by-tuner thing there. Let's see if I can find one that he does. Because you'll appreciate it. Oh yeah, so that kind of bend, fantastic, by the way. Let's do that. I mean, in no way can I play like that, but that kind of thing. Oh, dude, I feel for Jason every single day, man. I mean, what's this? Stuart. Oh, you're looking too? Honestly, man, I don't know it. I thought it was Eugene, but I'm not sure. It could have just as easily been Michael. That should have come out as could, and I'll explain this in a second. It is possible that my mentor, Kevin, I haven't seen him in years, may have passed away. I just heard about that. So, thank you very much. So, or not just, but may have passed away, and nobody knew it until I just heard it. Or nobody, me included, especially. This is another fellow former student of his, and you know, we all got along really, really well. But bet on Eugene then. Bet, not bed. Good evening, John. How for art thou? Well, you know, you do the best you can, but sometimes you get wrapped up in your own stuff. You get wrapped up in other people's stuff too, like, you know, my wife or, you know, my kids and stuff like that. Kids is not really singular, or it's not really plural. It's singular. I have one child, but you know, she got married, so it's the kids now. Oh, if I could only bend up there. So this is where the other location comes in. What chord is this? Right? And I want to go to that. Or that would be nice. So, John, I'm going to be there in the morning before you leave, but not by much. I mean, I'm assuming you're leaving about 6:30. I'll be there about 6. And I have a little something for you. It's not a big thing. Don't worry about that. I got a big thing for you too. No, I've got a small gift that's I've kind of been holding on to now for about 4 months that I've intended to get to you this whole time. But whoops, sorry. So yes, I do know the drill. The whole thing about getting ready to go and doing the thing. Yeah. Sorry, I'm all just goofing off. But where were we? Christmas music. Well, there's more out there than just the, you know. Oh, I appreciate your thoughts, Mr. Liquid Metal. Tranquil deal. Yeah. So, how do I pronounce that? Liquid Metal. Demiquil. I'm going to have to work on that. I'm sorry about the pronunciation. It's my, you know, it's almost making me dyslexic looking at it. But I'll call you Liquid Metal. So Anyway, yeah, almost bought me a cat calendar. Oh my God! Oh yeah. You might have to fight my daughter. I don't know. She got me one of those last year, you know. So so if we were doing I don't know what to do. So that's the thing about sometimes you making up stuff and it's outside of the normal bounds. You really didn't start out with anything in mind. And if you don't start out with something in mind, you're going to get exactly what you started out without. Nothing. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of goofing. Half the time, it's a 50-50 shot that I'm going to make a huge, blatant, raging, huge mistake because I don't know where I'm going. That there go between the notes. You could shake it back and forth, Warren DeMartini style. Sounds like a Madonna song. What is that? Something Stranger? And then take it on up. So if we're doing this, right, add different notes. So this, nice 7. And if I, it's just a nice little sound. How to find these kind of things. I just think it's kind of a miraculous deal. Take notes of chords, for instance, that you already have. Part that out, because getting out of that might be a little bit more interesting. And just kind of move notes around. All right, let's start with these. So a nice B major, for instance. Let's move this down 1. All right, so now we have a 7 chord. Easy as pie. Let's just do a regular 7 instead of like a dominant 7. Like the Rain song. Good. I think I should go up on that. Maybe I want to turn that into... Nope, I don't. Maybe I want to do this. Nope. No, it's there's more of a home base. Because when you get weird... weird music. So when you get weird, there's a home base. There's always got to be kind of a home base. Some place that you feel is kind of grounded. You can't just be completely ethereal where nothing makes sense unless you want to talk about being like Schoenberg, or do the atonalism thing. And atonalism is an exercise. It's not music. It's just an exercise in serialism. The whole thing. It's not music. But if you wanted to try that, I mean, go ahead, because that has music with zero foundation. It is an amorphous mass that just kind of moves around a little bit, and it exists only to be self-serving or as a. And if you haven't heard of serialism, you're about to hate life. I'm going to play some. So let's do this as a kind of a mental thought. One of the things about serialism, and I got this from like Marty Friedman, Jason Becker. Not stuff that they actually did, but I got this from them doing like interviews. But they got into Schoenberg just because of the adventurous side of them. Got into it. Let's imagine that we have 1 octave from here to here. Ooh, intonation is just a cent off, just a little, not much. Anyway, so let's imagine this. So we have. You can write catchy, unique parts sometimes that always come back to home. Yes, because that's where it lives. So let's do a serialism experiment. And I've never done a serialism experiment. This is where I'm going to go out and I'm going to get a big bowl of cereal, come back and eat the bowl of cereal and see how long it takes for you guys to get off the channel. No. So serialism, though, we're going to do something called a 12-tone row. And I'm going to do a call out, and I'm basically going to say, all right, name a note, and every next note that you play can't be the same as any previous note, and it's got to be random. So first note, I'm going to already call it out, G sharp. Okay, so we have a G sharp. What's next? Anybody? I will wait. So, but we're starting our 12-tone row with a G sharp, and then we have a bunch more to do. And because it's random, we cannot expect melody. So we can expect that there may be melody, but at this point, it's kind of like the infinite monkeys with infinite typewriters. But in this case, it's 12 monkeys with 12 typewriters and 12 keys, and that's it. So I mean, okay, so I'll just go ahead and continue. So let's do G sharp. I will do A sharp. Thank you. All right, so G sharp, A sharp. What's the next note? Random, after all. I'll tell you what, I'll intersperse back and forth. G sharp, A sharp, F. Okay, what's next? So, but it gets more complicated than this. Essentially, we're going to play 12 notes at random and not repeat them. So, all right. You know, and that's that. Now we're going to use that as a basis for playing that, like for 2 beats each. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. And on top of that, we're going to play quarter notes with the same type of thing, but reharmonized because it has to be randomized. So let's do a higher harmony here. You know, and just keep going with that. So you can imagine that this is pure cacophony. It is D's. Yes, D. Thanks, John. There's your D's. So all of them. Almost all of them. So, and then there you are. You get a load of D's. So, but yeah. So imagine, if you will, music that is literally created like that. I think serialism is not music, though. That's the whole problem. But so we have to stay, in my opinion, grounded. And again, I'm a relativist when it comes to music. That is not music. That is an exercise that exists solely for the gratification of no one except for the person writing it. It is not going to make you happy. It is going to make you feel off. And that's kind of, if that's the point, great, I guess. Play some weird stuff that's just off. Or if it's meant for shock value alone, play it really fast and call it good, you know. Like, you can consider this a 12-tone row, kind of. Where do we start? Here. So there. Yeah, but why? I mean, you can, but I mean that's literally, well, it's kind of a tangential rant, isn't it? But so going off of that, so if we're playing chords and just kind of figuring out where we can take them, try to keep some of that grounding intact. Don't just go, unless you mean to, but you know, and then go to somewhere else. You know, why? Why would you do that? Flight of the Bumblebee is more the Rimsky-Korsakov thing. Something like that. Honestly, I've never learned it. I was more interested in Paganini. Something like that. It's been a year, so let me see if I can. No, it's not there. No, that's not it. Anyway, so yeah, you had a heart attack. The chord change sounded horrible. Yes, it did. Well, the whole thing is without intent, what do you have, right? So, let me go back. I'm sorry. We're still on Adrian Legg here. Let me see if I can get him doing something with his tuners, because, just like he did. Let's go back a little. Not too much. Nope. Telling you. Let's do Adrian Legg tuners. This must be seen. Not necessarily... there. Just watch this. So it's not just that he's moving the tuners around. I mean, the tuners are special tuners. They are banjo tuners, and they're all set to do like what the D-tuna does, and just snap into a different tuning. But you have to set it just right for it to happen. But isn't that neat? Just cool as all get out, man. Adrian Legg, spectacular, smashing guitar player, without actually smashing things. So let's go back to main. Hello, I'm back. So, yeah. So... Well, yeah, again, playing with intent is a great thing. What do you want to hear, even if it's spur of the moment and you're just kind of messing around? I don't know. Octaves help. Sounds kind of like a cat, on a keyboard. You could do little exercises like that. This is just stack 3, root 3, root 3. Do all sorts of crap like that. 7s, you can reharmonize those. So. But again, always kind of grounded there. I'm moving things around, but I'm keeping kind of a base from where it's from. And the same goes with like Slayer, Yeah. That's it. I think that's how it goes. You're always grounded. Sounds like, except this is done with a B bender. Yeah, all sorts of crap. I feel like going back to this. Ooh, but not that loud. Tone volume. I think. Something like that. No, I just can't really grow anything else. With the exception of the hair that was once on my head all the way back in May even, which is when I took it off. This whole thing, that's it. Can't connect them, can't do anything else. I mean, I got a little bit of scruff here and there, but it's nothing that a reasonable beard can cure, because I can't grow one. So I essentially have this, and I don't know, I think it's the Norwegian in me or something like that, or even the Native American in me that's, I shouldn't say that, I'm tiny bit Blackfoot, tiny bit Cherokee, a little bit more Cherokee than more Cherokee than Elizabeth Warren, I'll tell you that much. But, but yeah, that's all I've got, man. So I'm pushing the Hammett. Well, Hammett's pushing his own Hammett, so that should be a song. Hammett's pushing Hammett's. What is that? Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. And we just kind of change the lyrics a little bit. How did the Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath go? Nope. can see right through Hammett's mustache. You know, you have to learn. Yeah. So. I thought it was Pocahontas, but. Yes. No, my great, on my mother's side, my mother's grandmother's husband, so that'd be my mother's father. His father was apparently full-blooded, so that makes me a tiny bit. So yeah, do I like Grim Reaper? There's a couple of different answers to that. I like Nick Bocott, but I also like. And I do not fear him. And I have a fever, you know. And the only cure is... What is that? More cowbell. Oh no, I'm offline. Oh dear. Well, that's all right. I'll take that out. Battery could have died or something. Life goes on. Irian, where did you go? Why did you leave me, Irian? Yes, it's me. So, you poo? Of course it's me. Stop it. So, a Blue Oyster. Yes, and their cult. So yes, anything Sabbath. Dude, I'm with you all the way. Anything Sabbath is good, with the exception of Technical Ecstasy. Probably. And even then, it was pretty good. So, I mean, it could have been worse, but Sabotage was kind of not so good, but, you know, it's a thing. So, got it, yes, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know what? I think I figured out what happened to the Irian camera. Let's see if we can turn that on again, because I am interested in keeping it on. For those of you who might be interested in me keeping it on. Yes, Irian, where are you? Probably down where it says Irian, and it's waiting for the connection. Of course it's waiting for the connection. Here I am. You can't see that, but hello, that's me. So, I got up way too early this morning. I got up at like Tim time. So if you guys don't know what that is, of course, but Tim time being like 3 o'clock in the morning, it's just way too early. So let's a little closer to fret hand. There we go. Hi, kitty. Yes. Oh, Hopper. There's my cat. Everybody, say hello to Hoppy. So, yeah. That's my good boy. Let's get it back over here and talk about guitar stuff. So all I'm playing through here is that deep blue. It's called the Distortion for Moan. It's $38. And I just love the sound of it. The sound is great. It is almost cranked up. But it's got a great kind of tone to it. It's not like the extra special overdrive from Mojo Hand, which is Neil Schon right out of the box. It's got a slightly different Holdsworth. Holdsworth is a ridiculous phenomenon. I cannot emulate him, but he is one of my biggest influences. I've just never learned anything by him. Here's something that I think you could take from him, though. If you wanted to look into something called, I think it's Messier's modes of, what is that? Limited modulation or something to that effect. It's essentially taking certain shapes, like this, for instance, and knowing that they can only connect in certain ways. Like how many times can you permutations. How many different permutations of them are there with different notes and note groupings not being used? So like, for instance, there's only really 2 permutations of it. Okay. This diminished is the same, which would be, there's only essentially 2 permutations of it. You could play it that way. You could play it the way next to it, and that's it. And then all the notes are covered, and that's just the end of it. But and that would be, so from here, or this, because it's only half whole, then it's just essentially omitting a few notes here and there. Every third note is gone in a chromatic scale. And that's that. I like Grim Reaper too. So yes. So this essentially comes up here and does this. Excuse me. And that's that. And there's only two of them, and it just keeps repeating after that. Well, this has I guess that's, a single permutation. So one, I have to look that up because I haven't studied this in a while, but it's essentially correct. And if you want to study this further, you absolutely can. Beyond me. I mean, like I said, I've got a small limitation of knowledge on this one, but conceptually, I kind of have an idea for a grounding. What chord? Oh, for the diminished? Will work just fine. So stack root, flat 5, flat 7, flat 5. And every 3 frets, just like with the scale or the arpeggio, which this is essentially, but played quickly. Round and round, really? How did that go? Yeah. I have to figure that out. But yeah, so the this is just this. Kind of played back and forth and back and forth, okay? So, but for the diminished scale, which is also the Arabic scale, this here that's all it is, because it's all just a whole step and a half step. Ad infinitum. Just repeat, repeat, repeat. So, no thirds in his. Well, he has a special way of looking at chords, and because he doesn't want. He had a book once called "Reaching for the Uncommon Chord," which I looked at, and I would like, I'd like to run across a copy, like locally, so I could just go and look at it, pick it up and see. I don't even remember seeing it at like Barnes and Noble or Borders Books and Music back in the day when they carried that kind of stuff. But I do know that. Oh, dude, Zuhair, take care. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Be well. So I will hopefully see you next week. And in the meantime, practice, practice, practice. Play faster. So the, let's see, small percentage of knowledge. First time I've ever had a small percentage of knowledge. Oh, that's funny. No. It's true, John. It's true. It's small percentage of knowledge is because I pursued it. I learned it. And then, I never really touched it again. I just kind of forgot about it. But let's talk about this. This has 2 permutations. Aha. That's it. So the other one just has 1. Diminished has 1 permutation. All right. So just talking about that solidified that. This has 2. So we have this. We have the thing that comes next. And then we have this. Excuse me. So it's essentially 1 whole step, 2 half steps, and a whole step. That's the scale. And it's kind of ripping, if you think about it. That's kind of neat. So going on with its kind of neatness, you can use that for all sorts of effect. And Danny Spitz, in fact, used that in, well, not that, the second permutation, which was the kind of 3 notes together. Here in ADI Horror of It All. And the thing is, it was around that time that I learned about the modes of, like non-infinite permutation, limited permutation. I think that's actually it. So but it's neat. The thing is, you can only really move that so much because you've covered all the notes because of how many notes that are actually kind of in that. There, but once you hit the octave of it, it's like, all right, what notes are left? All right, play the next permutation. Just shift it over a little bit, and once that permutation is done with, you're done. It's all over. but it's got some neat stuff to it. And this. Reason why I bring it up is Holdsworth did use it a lot. By the way, this, because of the way it's shaped, actually stacks really well on altered chords or seventh chords. See? Pretty well. But he hated the common seventh chord voicings. These seventh chords, he will never play. You will never see him play those. And if he does, I'd be really, really shocked. So let's take this, play that an octave higher. What's that right there? Let's play that. All right, so we've got two there. Let's play those here, if we can. That's hard to do. And we're essentially kind of burning a 7 chord here without a couple of extra. This is just the same note. All right, fine. Let's move that down. Still a 7. Sounds more like a sus, but, and I'm a little sus of that, but. But I don't know. Holdsworth is kind of untouchable, but his legato legacy for me lives on because this kind of. That kind of thing, how he can just scoot around all over the place like that. When I watched him as a kid, probably 15, doing that on a program called Rock School of all things, that was on PBS, and they were interviewing him on. He was doing like that Synthax, the synthitar, which just kind of sits here and it goes like so, and it's got even frets all the way through. But he's basically just kind of doing these nutty lines, and I'd never really heard anybody except for maybe Joe Satriani, whom I heard first, play like that. And yeah, well, Van Halen was a big fan of Holdsworth, man. I mean, he was actually like legit a fan. Just obsessed with all of his old stuff, and his new stuff. He got a chance to play with him. I know that. There's not really any. I don't think there's any footage, but there is some audio recording of Holdsworth jamming with Van Halen. And it is a funny thing because Holdsworth is just kind of not quite sure what to do. I'll just play some stuff. And the Van Halen is kind of like, well, and this is like at GIT, by the way, or at least in a building like right across the street from it. And of course, neither of them went there. They're just, high profile guitarists that, made their own way, doing their own thing. But yeah, Drop Dead Legs. Oh, you mean with the lead at the end. But this. I used to know how to play the whole thing, but that was a long, long time ago. Even longer ago than the sleigh ride thing, which I oddly remember better than Drop Dead Legs. That whole yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I'd have to figure it out. And I'm not going to do that right now. But, out of memory and all that, no, it's not. But that I think I know what you mean, though. That I'm going to pretend keys here. Because he's playing over, if I'm not mistaken, basically an A major. Which is major here in A, but if we wanted to play like A Dorian, I'm sorry, A Mixolydian, that would be E Dorian. He also, Holdsworth did have this kind of thing with his bar. Everybody has a thing with their bar, but, this whole... So the thing at the with the bar is, Holdsworth didn't want to be a guitar player. He wanted to be like a sax player. He wanted to be, like John Coltrane or something like that. And but he just happened to play guitar. I mean, and that was his instrument, so he made it work the best he can. But he's always tried to be like a horn guy. And so it's that kind of thing that led to, the bar approach to kind of emulate how those guys bent notes really quickly and then went into other, type of thing. So that Shawn Lane did the bar thing too. Yes, he did. So, and that's kind of where I got it. Well, I got this really from Jason Becker, but everybody gets it from different places, but a lot of people have the same source. So, I mean, that it's just kind of where you hear it and who you're trying to emulate. For me, a lot of this came from, early days of like when I was listening to a lot of Vai or Satriani. They did a lot of bar stuff, and then, you hear Jason Becker doing all of his type of thing, and it's like, ooh, that's really great. And, like, oh, shoot, what? 11 Blue Egyptians. I can't remember. Do you know how long it's been since I've actually listened to Perpetual Burn? Probably too dang long, and I think I'm going to have to cue that up and listen to it like tomorrow. Tonight's out of the question. Too tired. Must sleep soon. But no, Becker was my guy for quite a while, and I always appreciated his chops. Always appreciated his ear. He had the best ear. Everything he played was so musical. It oozed correct and wonderment. And Shawn Lane. So the Shawn Lane thing. If it wasn't for power lines, I think it was power leads. Power leads and power solos. Power lines and power solos? Power lines and power solos. My alternate picking game wouldn't be what it is. It's every once in a while you stumble across something that unlocks, like a key to your next. It's the lock to your next level. This is the key. Unlock that key and you get to the next level. So the Shawn was that for me. And I kind of actively avoided Shawn Lane for a long time, guitar magazines and stuff like that, but I never heard the guy. I'm stumbling around on some stuff, and somebody told me I sounded a bit like Shawn Lane once, and I had no idea who really he was except for this guy that I keep seeing in magazines. And I'm like, dude, every time they put somebody in a magazine, it's just some new blue, and listen to the phrasing, it's some new blues hack, it's just this guy, and I never heard him, I never bothered to hear him, because if you see him advertised in a guitar magazine, it's probably music that I don't listen to. So I naturally, because how often did you have Jason Becker or Marty Friedman in Guitar Player magazine? You just never did. So when they had the keys to the Lamborghini, well, seriously, yeah, it was more like keys to a freaking dragster. But the thing that got it for me was starting with an upstroke, because he always started this stuff with an upstroke. Every time he played, it's up, and that turned out to be the secret sauce for me. So if I wanted to play something quickly, I would screw it up just as badly as I did right there. Again, starting out with no real idea what I'm doing, but if it's fast, it's upstroke, upstroke, upstroke. Every time I start with an upstroke. And that's just the way to get through the strings faster, because something that I've always done and always tried to fight against, because, the Paul Gilbert thing is, down, up. So you're always crossing. You're always crossing the string that way instead of inside, which is great. It's totally easy because it's very efficient. You're going outside, which is harder to do by a long shot. So, I mean, if you're going to fake it, that's a great way of faking it. Heavy muting. But it's not the same. Again, my picking hand wants to attack like Paul Gilbert. But my picking hand also says you don't want to pick on the outside of the strings. You want to pick on the inside of the strings. So Yeah, I do like Gambale picking. So this is the next step in my evolution, and I'm still working on it. And I've been working on it now pretty consistently for 4 years. And it's kind of a funny thing about mental roadblocks because, as Sean would tell you, lane-wise, that if you practice something slow for a long time, you've just kind of locked yourself into the slow mindset. And so when you try to push it faster, you've got this roadblock standing in your way saying, no, I don't want to go any faster than that. That's not what we practiced. So he was saying after a certain point, just stop and try to jump ahead. In other words, you turn off the conscious part of the brain, you just kind of do it. So I'm still going to start with an upstroke, but by the time I get kind of moving and my downstrokes start to hit, I can go, and it's a little bit better. It's not perfect, but it gets a little better. But that down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down is weird to me. And I've been trying to do that since I was 19 with no success. And I figured out that by trying to do that, I was losing my straight alternate picking. So I stopped and just kept going with the straight alternate picking. Eventually, when I was around 29 or so, I found the Sean Lane stuff and, would hit that pretty hard and, get the actual picking chops, kind of going. But when it came down to the other stuff, like I said, about 4 years ago is when I decided to, pursue it kind of heavy. And I've got some footage, which is nice, of me doing it pretty well from, I think it was almost 4 years ago. It could have been 3 years ago. But I did a Malmsteen cover. And the beginning of it was I Am a Viking. And the beginning of that is like this really long kind of, really, really fast. I think actually it's Lydian. Type of thing. And it's just, you've got to do it fluidly. And I did it. Can I do it now? I don't know, but I did it. So, but that, yeah. If we do it in parts, that literally is it. That's a little more like it. The fours. It's all circular there, with a lot of errant notes. But essentially, circular. Actually, that would be easy. A little bit faster, too, than the straight fours. It's a thing. So, but a lot more errant notes, too. So you can see this is... But you can see I'm kind of an artifact of, and everybody is. We can't be everything. We're not all John Petrucci. We can't be everyone all at once. But what we can try to be is like the best us we can, and still pursue our interests. So if you see something that's like, ooh, I want to try that. You might be good at it. You might not be, but you should give it the best shot you can. My thing came from an early, or my hang up with going in between strings and whatnot, not hang up with that. That's actually what I prefer to do. Came from the first time I was ever doing like triads. And I wasn't given any instruction about how to pursue the picking in it. But I was, pretty well taught. What is that? Mr. Crowley, the last little bit, Randy Rhoads wise, his triad deal. And I want you to take note about how I picked that. I wasn't doing up, down. And he may have done it that way. Me, I am down, pull off, up. And that's just the way I've always done it. So going for that kind of a thing, so where I'm going from one string to another, going in between strings has always been my preference, always. So, have I ever invented any new methods of playing or seen something I've never seen before? Yeah, oh, yeah, all the time. Have I invented new things? No, probably not. I have a really orchestral approach to writing. I'm not a jammer. I don't like to just, sit and, all right, play something over this now. I mean, I can do the... I can do stuff like that all day long. You want me to play a lead over something, I could totally do it. But when it comes down to like chord construction or putting together a bunch of notes to try to make a song or something, unless there's already a seed of it planted in my head, there is nothing new coming out. So, that being said, innovations that have gotten me would be like Dave Mustaine's submarine technique. I'm not sure how exactly he did it, but it's kind of like a... But you have to have good intonation, and apparently this is a little flat. So let's try this. Instead, here. Yes. There. Just sounds like a sonar ping. Well, here. But and that's something that he's done that I thought was very interesting. I've seen guys do like the 8-finger tapping thing. And I think that's fascinating. Fascinating stuff. Stuff that blew me away early on is still fascinating to me. How they, that kind of thing. Yeah. So Vito Bratta, phrasing like that. I get surprised all the time, and I don't get surprised all the time, but I get surprised a lot with a lot of different players. There are new players that get me all the time, like Max Ostra. Holy shit, he's just amazing. He's very Guthrie Govan, and I don't think he's invented anything new, but his phrasing is somewhat surprising, and he's always really, really weird. Oh, the Van Halen elephant type of thing. Yeah. So that would be hitting a lot of different harmonics that kind of don't work together, like this, maybe. And then like that, pulling it up, but... Something like that. Yeah, it's fun stuff. It could also be a very, very sick vacuum cleaner. So, way back in the day when we had the Kirby's, So, sorry, Hopper. You doing okay, buddy? So, at any rate, yes, he's afraid of the vacuum, of course, naturally. So, but that... Hit that. Type of thing, and do that. I'm good with the cat sounds, that kind of thing. I can do that, but the other things that trick you out. I like to be surprised. I will like a player if I'm genuinely surprised by the stuff they're doing. I mentioned Max Ostra. What's another guy? Well, Adrian Legg obviously has full of surprises and instrumentation that I think is fascinating. Was that a phone? Did that shut off again? Probably not. Could have sworn I heard something. But no, I'm surprised all the time. I heard a guy today named Spyro. And I can't remember. He was playing a red ESP with Fishman Fluence pickups, but he has the most even... and precise, picking hand I've ever seen. Just really, really ridiculous. I've mentioned before Daniele Guittardo, and with a name like that, even though it's not spelled Guitard, it's, Guittardo, but ORDO? ARDO. But with a name like that, you better be a damn good guitar player if you play. And he is. He's one of the most surprising and bright spots in modern history. He's got jazz and classical down. And the guy is like a whole new incarnation of Debussy, waiting to attack you with amazing instrumentation and sometimes staggering technique. So let's... Cheers to him. The whole new breed. I can't say Tim Henson, whatever, Necktat. I can't say him. I mean, I can say him as being a technical, wizard and absolute genius, but I cannot. If you can't improvise, I don't think he can improvise. But if you can't improvise, you're not very high on my scale, and therefore a lot of that whole tap tap it just gets repetitive and mindless. If you've heard one song, you've heard them all. There's no surprises in his music to me. The first time you hear him could be the same as the second and the fourth and 10th time, and that's that. Yeah. I cannot say the same thing about Animals as Leaders, for instance. Of course, this is all my opinion. You can have your own opinions. It's a thing. But Animals as Leaders doesn't have the two albums that are the same ever at all. They're spectacularly different all the time. And I really appreciate them. Chon, or Chone, Chon, not Chorn, not to be confused with Firebringer from Team Star Kid, but, Chorn. So Chon, they're also pretty surprising. They play extraordinarily well, but unfortunately for me, I've heard 2 albums from them and I can't tell them apart. Pliny, on the other hand, makes staggering works that you can listen to all day long in a wood shop or in, the kitchen washing dishes or while you're trying to wake up in the morning or trying to sleep. It's just great stuff always. So, yeah, opinions, we all have them. Fun stuff. But this... Oh, a guy that also surprises me all the time is Uli Roth. I know he's old and he's been around the block for a long time, but Uli always surprised me. Let's do a case in point with that, because I think it's important. If Uli doesn't have a lot of, a very strong registered fan base, especially amongst the new peoples. The new peoples need to know Uli Roth. So let's talk Uli. So I'm going to go to musical. I've got this massive catalog of tunes here. And it's nowhere near as massive as my old CD collection, but the majority of my CDs have made it into here. So that's nice. But I'm still lacking on a few. So let's go straight for Mr. Roth here and do something from a 1978 classic. Oh, Ichi. Ichi? Is that... Is he the one that... Oh, yeah, totally. Scorpions, yes. But he did a lot of solo stuff after that. And it's the solo stuff I want to concentrate on. But, so Ichi, he's the guy that does the... he does a lot of tapping, but he was the first, Ibanez endorser of the Ibanez headless guitars. Is that correct? You can tell that I'm a little bit on the ignorant side there. But I think that whole style of, slap, pop, tappy little musics, I think after a while it wears out its welcome and kind of works its way into the background. Also, I'm weird like this, but... hear me out. I think if you play music so perfectly that, there was a guy that was doing stuff for a while. I think it was called glitch tapping. Stuff like that, it's neat. You bring it out and it's kind of new. But if you play everything always so precisely and perfectly, what separates you from MIDI? It takes the human out. Okay, yeah, same thing. But it takes the human element away from it. There's no... surprises anymore. It's all, precise. I can't do that kind of music. I just can't. It's not human enough anymore. It's just, thank you, sir. I agree to, or madam, liquid metal, I will say. But yeah, it takes away the thing that makes it special. So I'm going to play 2 things. So I'm going to play off of Earthquake. I'm going to play the lead portion of Electric Sun. And I want you all to know this was a contemporary album to Van Halen's, and no one was playing like this then. No one. It was probably recorded earlier than Van Halen's release, by the way. So let's just move right along. Okay, so this was Hendrix, E. I'll turn this up a bit. So this is very hippy-dippy Hendrixy stuff, okay? Until the lead. Oh, yeah, he can't sing Worth Beans, by the way. But this would have been heard on the Tokyo tapes. And Flight of the Rainbow. The Virgin Killer. Also. But that was Flight of the Rainbow was the album. Okay, here we go. Hear Me Out in Uli. Nobody did that! Nobody does what's coming up either. Okay, that's enough. Nobody did that then. Nobody. He was literally like the first neoclassical guitar player. I mean, you had definitely, guys like Michael Schenker that was coming, Schenker was the guy that basically said, hire this guy. He was playing in a band called Dawn Road. And this guy is, of course, Uli Roth. But and Uli was like, okay. So he was in the Scorpions for a while before they hit it big with Matthias Jabs here in the States. But dude, Sick is, it doesn't even come close to capturing what I felt when I first heard this. And I, made the date range connection. 1978 was the release of this, I believe. And, this precedes freaking, like, everybody. So, Ichka. The girl that basically does the same type of tapping, she has... It's like Sarah Longfield's guitar paint job. It's like black and multicolored blotch. Is that correct? John, tell me I'm wrong. But I think I know who you're talking about. But I want to also mention, though, that I think that kind of approach is alien to this instrument. It turns it into something else that it isn't. So to me, they're not playing the guitar as it is played traditionally. They're guitar playing. They're playing a guitar, yes, but they're not playing it in a traditional sense. They've taken it beyond the bounds of standard, guitar playing. It's something else entirely. Hello? I don't know what's going on out there, but there's some moving around in the living rooms. I have animals, so, it's a thing. But let's go on and talk a little bit more about Uli's evolution. So after Earthquake was Firewind, sure, I'm going to skip that and go straight to 1986 with Beyond the Astral Skies. I'm going to play you 2 solos from Beyond the Astral Skies. And the first one is The Night the Master Comes. And upon hearing this, you're going to go, oh, that's where Marty Friedman got it. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Uli is perfect. Drains every ounce out of each note that he plays without even playing fast there. Skip that. I'm going to play you 3 solos. Why is where Jason Becker got the end of the beginning. I have covered this lead, but I remember nothing from it. Here we go. It is so good. Just emotionally draining, I'm telling you. I used to listen to this crap all the time. I have a story about this, though. I even have an instructional video about how to play this. Probably go back and relearn it. Fun fact, the guitar that I played the cover on is in the hands of a young Stewart. Very, very fine guitar player. That's hard to play. A little bit. So that's something I can speak to right there in a second. This is hard. It is very difficult to play like this, man. And do it justice. So at any rate, that's a good one to learn. And like I said, I've got an instructional video about how to do it. So I think it's 3 parts, actually. And I think it's called How to Why. So if you want to get on my channel and look up How to Why, I obviously have forgotten how to do it, but I could show you back then. So the one I want to show you, though, is called Icebreaker. And it is, yes, very hippy-dippy. Yes, a product of the 70s, obviously, even though it was done in 86. But the lead is ridiculous. It's also fast. So there we go. Once again. Oh, it's awesome. I believe that was... This album I recommend to anyone with an open mind. Because this is not music for everyone. I got this tape on tape. I got this tape when I was 20. And so yeah, if you've heard my Uli story before, I'm terribly sorry. But oh, bless your heart, man. Well, one of these days I'll learn it. I'll tell you what, and I'll try to cover it. But today is not that day. Although that whole little type of thing. I mean, I like to do a lot of muting, and with playing like Uli, you can't really do a lot of muting. Because he himself talks about kind of an open picking technique, which is, it's very hard to emulate. And he also picks very close to the fretboard. And he's just so open and so free. He doesn't really have any errant notes either. So it's really hard to, nail that kind of a style, but I'll give it a shot, man. I'll give it a shot. I mean, I love Uli, so that's the thing. But yeah, I got it when I was 20, and I listened to the whole thing, and I'm like, ooh, this is terrible. But the leads are great. Oh, that's where Friedman got it. No, that's where Jason Becker got it. Okay, I got it. Got it, no problem. Okay, cool. So I was in a desperate time in my life around the age of 26. I had just had a daughter, and I got laid off. So my wife and we got a baby. I just got off. I got removed from a job just before the birth, about 3 months before the birth, got another job. Then I got laid off. And, it's during that time, so I guess just before I was dead. And I was kind of in desperate straits. I'm looking for another job to tide me over before the birth. And I got one week, by the way, before my daughter was born. So I'm out there and I'm looking for work. And one of the things that I did, I decided to just go ahead and, let's hit some music stores. And I needed something new and I needed something different. And I, was kind of all metaled out at the time. I've listened to Anger, I've listened to Iced Earth, I've listened to all sorts of, thrash and death. And I've had enough of Creator, I've had enough of Coroner for right now. Let's listen to some other stuff. Oh, Death? No, I don't want to listen to Death. Cryptopsy? No, I don't want to listen to Cryptopsy. What else do I have? Uli. I haven't heard this in a while, and it's there, and it's not 99.9. They're not going to play AC/DC again, so that's fine. I'll just play this. And so I put it in, and all the right notes struck. Everything was just like, you know what? This is perfect. You just have to be open to it. It's kind of like, if we're going to talk that kind of thing, it's like last year, I approached Just Cause 4. Now, I bought it when it came out, and I absolutely hated it because I could not see what it actually was, which was a continuation of Just Cause 2. This is from people who had played Just Cause 2 and were aware of the lore created in Just Cause 3 and were trying to return to a Just Cause 2 type of game. I understand it for what it is, and in spite of me hating it for the years that I hated it when it first came out, I spent $85 for that and all DLC. Because I love Just Cause 3 so much, I bought this and it was a hunk of junk to me. Now I understand it, and it's great. It's absolutely great. It's a great game. It's not one of my top 10s, top 20, yes, but it's a great game for what it is. But you have to understand it for what it is and meet it at its place. you know? That's Uli's music. You have to meet it where it comes from. And once you're in the headspace for it, it's amazing stuff. So, yeah. No, I am hearing this phone, like, picking up messages and stuff. Oh, screen timeout, blah, blah, blah. All right, so it's my old Pixel phone being all pixely. So, So let's talk about more Uli licks. And I've done this before, but it's an awesome exercise. And we're just going to go down a slightly chromaticized group of notes. You can play this anywhere you want. It really doesn't matter. But if you wanted to play it in, like, let's say you're doing like a harmonic minor thing, I would definitely choose a note that it would be a little more comfortable starting on, like an F sharp or an E flat. We're going to go down the scale and then basically proceed from this note to a diminished shape. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that's the first time. So the first time is back up. The second time is down 2 more notes. And I used to just practice that, so. But I tried to do it more and more and more. Maybe I should again, but. Boy, how did I do that? Did I start with an upstroke? Yeah, I did. So starting with a downstroke nowadays, it's a little different than I would have approached it before. So upstroke for strict alternate picking. Then you could do things like... But this is all from the song from the album Earthquake called Earthquake. Yeah. And yes, I'm sweeping that. And it's actually really tough to do. Nothing Uli plays is easy. It just isn't. But that's a really good little exercise to kind of free you up a little. Because it tightens you up here. And once you get tightened here... Oh, happy holidays, good sir! So, let's see. Thanks for the practice tip. Maybe a while ago I've been working on it. It's been definitely improving your hammer technique's fantastic, man! Good! Most excellent! Let's see here. The hammer technique thing, out of curiosity, what did I show you? This? The 10-minute exercise? Yes, guaranteed. It's very good for everybody. Everybody should absolutely do that. Guaranteed it will make you better for sure. Now, insofar as other things are concerned, taking standard shapes and extending them and doing things like this, which is all hammers. There's another thing you can do. And I'm still doing here. You could do the same thing with this finger, which is a little harder, so. Very harder. Nope, I don't even want to do it. My youth has escaped me. Let me just kind of keep on going while I'm reading you here. You were working on a groove metal riff with it's your bass, and I gave you a groove riff to work off of so your bends didn't muddy the notes. Oh, excellent! Oh, kind of like that whole thing that sounds rockabilly. think I even made a short of that. Maybe. But I don't remember directly. I apologize. But I'm glad that I was able to help you. I come up with a lot of weird crap, off the top of my head. So. As far as like legato thing, so anything like the hammers, with the whole. Good. I'm glad I have some semblance of memory left, pre-dementia notwithstanding. Oh, and I've mentioned before to Zuhair, which is now, he left the building a while ago, but this, I've mentioned to him before about hitting wrong notes, trying to hit wrong notes and seeing what comes of it. So like this, if I'm going up like A major, let me instead of hitting the fifth, I'm going to hit the flat 5, which is weird because, it's not supposed to be there. But it'll work. Nice. It's weird, but it's good. Go for the wrong notes. It'll expand your horizons a little bit. One of the neat things you could do, like with a major scale, for instance, is flat the 6th. Harmonic major. No joke, fun. So, because every single combination of notes that you could possibly ever come up with already has a name associated with it. There's no more inventing or making up scales unless you're in microtonal music, and I guarantee somebody's already done all those too for like the half-step notes and stuff like that. But in general, these kind of things, there's no coming up with, I made a scale. Nobody's done that before. Yeah, well, actually what you've done is hit 2 intervals, essentially playing notes of a chord separately. You're arpeggiating a root 5. That's it. No, it's not a scale. Sorry. What is a scale? Technically, if you really wanted to get down to brass tacks, the pentatonic scale is not a scale so much as it is it's a chord. We're just playing it separately, notes-wise. So what's this? Minor. Okay, great. What else do we have in there? Flat 7, all right. So we've got a legit, minor 7 chord going here. So let's move that 3rd up here. All right, so that note is a 5th. Cool. What else do we have? Well, that's the 7. It just repeats. So all this is the living embodiment of a minor 7 chord. Done. So yeah, that's all there. This, we can add stuff to it like the blue note, depending on where you want the blue note to be. I prefer that one. Because that's where all the fun notes live. Where all the fun notes live around there. But these guys... That's cute. It's got a nice rocking attitude to it. Can make a Satriani tune out of that. If maybe Satriani-ish tune. I get those every once in a while. Like, I think I called one of them JS Asteroid. That's very Satriani. Every once in a while, you got to get the Satch out, So, you do. If you've got it in there, it says, get out, get out, get out. All right, well, you get the Satch out. You play the Satriani-ish thing. So that... If you play it slower... Could be a Danzig tune, for God's sakes, but with better sound. So give me a second. So, oh, sorry, tuner. I didn't need to toss you overboard. There we go. And that's hard to do. It's not that hard. But I did bend up a whole major third, and it's something. So, yeah, cool. Anyway, that is also kind of loud. Right on. So, as the story goes... I was going to talk about that. Okay, so, I'm rolling over my cable. Don't you hate it when you roll over your cable? So, one of the things I was going to talk about was in Uli's solo. It's a delightful thing that you hear on, like, the solo to Mother, for instance, from Pink Floyd. And that's Twist of Abel. Yeah, right. Why not? So, this thing that he was doing, though, is like... you're hovering around the note, not directly on. Of course, I'm going to turn the boost off. I don't need that much gain. You retube an amp and, you get all sorts of like, whoa, out of it. It's great. So. And that's plenty. A little on the... Oh, God, that's why. Overly distorted. I left the distortion pedal on. Nah, I can just leave it like this. Ah, damn. Well, welcome. So, yes, I do recall you asking about 7/8 timing. By the way, I feel remiss because one of the things that I counted was actually technically, I called it 7/4. Technically, it was 14/8, but what's half of that? I mean, come on, let's reduce, shall we? 7/4. So that's all right, but I totally remember. Hey, how you doing? So this... And all that is just proceeding up the scale, by the way. I actually wrote a riff once for a band a long time ago. I decided that it sounded better being like Coroner and playing it all in flat 5. So instead of this... It's just like this. So that's that. My God, I remember this. And yes, I'm not using my index at all, so... Not ignoring you, by the way. That actually had some really weird stuff to it. Let's see. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to list something that I made the other day in preparation for talking with people possibly outside of these streams. How about them apples? Let me go ahead and grab this and grab the use copy button. Oh, I'm going to use the copy button. Take that. So that's not it. Here. Yep. And doing this, and in the chat, post what you will, except that it still says hidden use copy button. What the hell? Oh, well, hold on a second, everybody. This is not doing exactly what I was thinking that it was going to do. So, personalize your icon, find your first tab. Don't be hidden. Add an invite link. 7 days, no limit. Generate a new link. Why are we doing this? Oh, you're going to have to give me a second on this, everybody. I don't know why that's doing the thing that it's doing, but it's doing the thing that it's doing. And I'm a little miffied about that. So let's go here, then go there. Give me a second. Technology is killing me. Okay, we'll try that. I hope I'm back. I hope I never left. Ah, I know what I did. Hopefully this is still in existence. Let me find it real quick. So here I go to my own little channel. Because I think on my About page, I hit a link to a Discord server. So anybody can send me whatever they want, and there I'll be. Or at the very least, you know, if they want to talk outside of the Monday thing, I'd be happy to try to throw down. I mean, I do work for a living, and I've got other responsibilities. And this is the time that I've literally carved out to be helpful if possible with anybody who wants to chat or, you know, talk about music or, you know, guitar stuffs. Hell, it might even be a chance for me to learn something as long as it's not outside my comfort zone. So let me go to my channel page. I think I actually posted a link to this. Should be in About. Why, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, John, I tried turning it off and on again. There you go. I don't know if that's going to work, but I would certainly like to see if it does. Spam me, ladies and gentlemen. Give me all the guitar-y things you have. Yeah, I know, interacting with people in the real world. It's not something that I would recommend. You know, I used to work IT a long time ago, and I consider myself kind of a people person. Oh, okay. Oh, dude. All right. Well, great. Thank you. I would be happy to check you out. Let's check you out right now. I don't want to put you in timeout. I want to actually go to your channel. There you go. Spectacular. All right. So, is it learning to play 7/8? You willing to go live? Let's share the screen. Okay, couple things. I think the exercise is for timing. I think you're getting that. Love your Jackson, by the way. I might like those guitars in general, but that's a lovely Jackson you have. A little shaky. I applaud your attempt, man. I think most of this you got it pretty locked in. Yeah, stainless steel frets, there is a difference. There is a difference. Every note's going to be a little sharper and a little clearer. Sharp, not as in like, you know, not sharp as in note-wise, but sharp as in like it's going to have a more clear and pronounced attack. My Schecter used to have stainless steel frets. Well, it still does, but I don't have the Schecter anymore. Once again, if anybody wants to buy Whitey Jackson, I see you have your own Whitey Jackson, but if anybody wants to buy Whitey Jackson, it is for sale. So, Discord me, baby. So. Nice ear-bending choice notes. I'm actually sincere. have 2 exercises for you. It has nothing to do with rhythm. Kind of does. Everything does. I mean, what's a note without rhythm, right? It's just a tone and timbre. There's 3 parts to every note. You're welcome. That's excellent. I want you to try that in a different way. You got to listen to John. John knows what he's talking about. He has very, very good taste in music. Although we disagree on some things. He's mostly right. Saying there's a ghost behind you, but I think it's your wife. Okay. Okay. 2 exercises. So this thing, let's go back and take a look at that and analyze that real quick. And we'll figure that out. Okay. So my idea there is kind of doing it this way. Take the root note down here. Instead of doing hammer on and pull off to it, move it up. So you're going to have to either play it a couple of different ways to make sure that you don't get errant notes and it's played similarly to this. Type of thing. So it doesn't ring out like this. Or, secondly, you could let it ring out. So but my thoughts on that is to change it up just a little. Here. And, try to approach it to where you're also effectively trying to mute the strings as well. So you enjoy the drums yourself, Lyndon, here with you. Yes, sir. Well, I understand that. The second thing I was going to suggest is I'm seeing you go into a lot of similar places. So, like, I'm not going to hit the right notes here because I'm not sure exactly what the key is, but is one guess. So possibly G, Phrygian dominant. But my suggestion is, sounds good, it is good. Exact. Yes, that's true. It's true. But who decides? So you see, this is why I'm a relativist at music. But I can make suggestions, but if you're not into it, you're not into it. So that's the thing. But I was noticing you're going to a lot of self-similar places. And I want you to explore the fretboard just a little bit more. So everything you played here, or which could be G harmonic minor, if that's what you're doing. Everything you're doing here, I want you to find it here. Not here, up here, but in the middle. So where's this? All right, well, where else can I find that? See what I'm saying? So I'm into it too. But that's what I'd like you to do. I want you to try to break out of the self-same patterns. I want you to move this where you can find it. if I had the frets for it. But basically, I want you to move it around a little bit. Same with here. Type of thing. See what I mean? Everybody does, man. Everybody does. That's why I'm challenging you to, because that's something that I will stay in ballpark all day long if you let me. If I'm uncomfortable with certain positions. So, as a case in point, and this is a personal case in point, to tell you that I've run into more songs in C minor lately than I've ever run into in my entire life, and G minor. So this is between like some ZZ Top covers, like. Wait, it gets better. Oh, you're welcome, sir. So, excuse me. Oh, that's a 7, but it's a pretty chord. That's all like, actually that's really type of thing. But, what is it? Oh, yeah. Well, I noticed that the reason why the G Phrygian thing dominant is I see you going type of thing, and I thought was probably creeping in there. At least the tonality was. Again, way off base. So basically G Phrygian, all I was doing was sharpening the third. And you could do that too, by the way. This would lead directly, by the way, to a Arabic scale. And is pretty cooking if I do say so myself. So that's and the Arabic once again is diminished, and that's just oh dude, take it easy. I'll see you in the morning. Drat, I have to wake up again early. Be well, dude. Be well. Yeah, I will see you. That's for you, bud. Fun stuff. So let me see there. So for the Phrygian thing. Phrygian dominant and Phrygian together make a great basis for that whole half whole scale. This case it starts half whole. In this case it starts whole half. But they're the same scale. So it's all. Oh, thanks, John. Yes, everybody remember to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. And also to Jonathan Franklin. So the G minor stuffs. G minor, I have flirted with before. I wrote a song in G minor when I was 27. On my 27th birthday, I wrote... And it was this whole... type of thing. And then it had this arpeggio stuff. And I've talked about this, I think, in a stream a while ago. And the reason why I wrote this is because I was uncomfortable in G minor. And also, that's where I heard it in my head. So, I figured it was a perfect thing to do. So, well, where's the next arpeggio? Well, where's the next one? Well, it's here. Well, maybe I don't want to go there. Maybe I want to go to the 7th. And it also gave me a great opportunity to practice sweeping. Which is straight up and down. Yeah, if I played it right. And of course, you got to harmonize that. So, where are the next chords that you need to learn? Where's the next notes? So I use this one. And where does that go from there? Which is just it's just simple thirds, but it's got a great kind of sound to it. Hi, Hopper. How you doing, kitty? So this, which is now here, and of course you have to harmonize the... So I did. And it sounds great. Well, it sounded great. I was 27 and, a fireball. But I'm older now, and I'm still trying to get by. But that's essentially it. So the trick with working with things, like I was saying, with these different things, is to actually write something or to try to involve notes that are where, you're comfortable, like the G Phrygian thing. Okay, well, where else do they live? Or Phrygian, sorry. Again, E flat and all that kind of stuff. Right. So the idea, though, is to, write something, take what you're doing and, move it other places and try to, explore around and try to find the sounds. So the C minor stuff that I've been running into lately, I have never played in C minor. Now, I've played in B minor and I've played in C sharp minor. And what's the difference? It's C sharp minor and it's B minor. But it's not C minor. The only difference, besides the look of the notes and where they're located, is that instead of connecting the dots, like with B minor, it's here. C sharp minor, it's here. And they're all relative to things that are good with open strings. Like, out of B minor, I can get a nice E minor. Granted, there's no C in it. There's a C sharp. So, and that's fine. I can live with that. You get an altered chord out of it, sure, fine. But it's got stuff that you're used to. It's got open strings, and it's got shapes that you're used to playing in specific ways in specific places. Same with what is it? C sharp minor. It's Children of the Grave from Randy Rhoads. Well, the way Randy Rhoads redid it. It's essentially it's E major. And it's easy to get along with that if you're comfortable with it. This is in between the two, and it throws me off every time. So it's a key that I'm very much not comfortable with. But we had at least 2 songs that were in that key, one of which being Stray Cat Strut, C minor. I'm going to turn off the high gain here. It is unnecessary. C minor, you got to get used to that. Yeah, and then you're off to the races with the rest of it. But there's stuff like that, and you got to get used to it, and it's just because it's there. But then there's the ones that it's like, all right, you got to improvise over it. Well, what do? You do the best you can with what you got. And for me, I imagine I'm in B flat, or excuse me, I imagine I'm either in B or in C sharp. Excuse me, I should say D flat, whatever. But I imagine I'm either in this key or the other key, and then shift everything in one direction. And that's how I get by. But it's just getting by because I'm still not comfortable with it. But whereas C minor, pentatonic essentially. And you can move things shape-wise in a way that you're comfortable with, like here. Okay, well, if you can do that, then you can also do... No. And then you can get weird and do things like... become Randy Rhoads suddenly. But the whole point is that I'm facing this myself. I've been playing for 36 years, and what's the one key I never really played in is C minor. I mean, never. But again, it's just like B minor. You shift up one fret. So I should be able to theoretically just cook. No problem. And that would be, I'm going down, 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 down. You know, we should play that in 7. Going down. That's not 7s, but Vi, I am not. But let's see. But when you go here to continue going down, essentially this is just a 1-4-5 progression. Something out the window now. 2 feet on. I got my head out the window and 2 feet on the ground. Ah, lovely. Well, it's up to you, isn't it? I mean, look, I got a green screen guitar. I can put any color on this that I wanted to, but my wife is not a fan of it. My kid loves it. In fact, she was the one that told me to turn around and go back and get it, so that's great. You know, it's all right, man. Colors are like, you know, music is like food. It's just something that's like nobody sees it the same way, and no two people are going to like exactly the same way, the same thing the same way twice. I mean, the way I see it is, look, man, you got your stuff. It's cool. You're breaking any laws? No, you're good. I'm glad you got it. So this, though, out the window, 2 feet on the ground. Take it away, Mr. Kirk Hamster. And then I'm going to cook on something that I already know. And then I'm going to try to think to myself, oh shit, what? No, because it's not blues. You can't just go ahead and be diatonic in the blues. You just can't. Yeah. I mean, I actually do, but I do it as a joke because I know it doesn't fit. And the fact that it doesn't fit, I think, is very, very funny. It's almost like Mad Libs, right? So you got to do what you got to do. And for me, this... You know, it's just, it's pure BS. Who would do that? Well, I would, just because it's funny. But on the whole thing with it, you are not expected to do, you know. Out the window. You know, you're expected to do something kind of in the blues vein. And because I have an accent, I want to speak the accent. And I want to speak the accent relatively well. All right, well, where do these things live? This is a... Sure, maybe. Nope, that is... You've seen what's behind my head, right? I have 5 of those back there on the wall. I got another 9 of them down here. Is it an addiction? Yeah, it certainly is. Moderately healthy? I would say it's moderately healthy, you know. It's good for you. Fairly safe, yeah. Financially, who knows? But yeah. Actually, I almost sounded like the old Beavis and Butthead starting it. My son-in-law is home. So the only key that I'm uncomfortable in is C minor. That's the only one I'm kind of trying to still scoot around with. Well, okay. What connects that? You can do that all day and it works out just fine. You can also change to go along with the F, you know, when you're in F, you can do the F minor. No problem. When you go to G, you really kind of should stick with more of a majory approach, but you can do the... And and then you just kind of stick with it. You could change with it, you could stay with it. You know, it's one of those things. But yeah, so my suggestion to me would be exactly what I just suggested to you. Is what is that? You used to do race motorcycles. Oh my God! All right, yeah, guitars are completely much cheaper than the automotive industry's collectible stuffs for the hobbyist out there. My suggestion would be guitars are much safer. You don't require a helmet unless you play Racer X. That's a terrible joke. Thank you very much for groaning if you did. I mean, I already know how bad it was. You don't have to tell me. And that's that. How was work tonight, man? Oh, we must have gone straight upstairs. Oh, well. So... But I am so much more comfortable playing things in like E or A. Well, I mean, I'm a guitar player, just like everybody else out there. You're a guitar player, I'm a guitar player, some bass player, you know, out there. Much more comfortable playing things like that. Actually, there is something that can help you out playing in certain keys, like G minor, for instance, but it's not so much G minor. And I was talking about that at the beginning of the stream, and I want to circle back to that and talk about Leroy Anderson. It's essentially Sleigh Ride, by the way. That's a weird thing, because I want to alternate pick that. But it's not so easy to alternate pick. But you have to get that staccato right, you know? Then... And there's a lot of sweeping in that, by the way. Sweep down, down, that's a downstroke, then up, up. Down, up, down, up, 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 down, up, down, up, aha, up, down. Of course, you could do the whole, or when we get to the bluesy part, right? So everybody likes that stuff. I mean, I like that stuff, but this whole... It's in a key that I'm not completely accustomed to. But that's it. That's all it is. Essentially like E-flat Lydian, or, you know, if it's E-flat Lydian, what the hell? B-flat major. So, I mean, I probably could have figured that out by ear, but yes, getting into the spirit. The name of the show is right back here, and actually showing its face like it was supposed to be for the majority of it. But you know me, I'm a squirrel. You know, run out on that branch, fall off the tree, try to figure out what tree I was on, and then eventually get back to it. Maybe I don't. That's the fun of it. But this whole thing with it's an F, G, to C, to B flat. To C, F, G, F, D, B flat, then C, D, C, B flat, G, and then hanging out on the fifth, which would be an F. So, and then you can cruise back up. Now, excuse me. Oh, yes. Excuse me, that's an F too. That's it. Right. Neat, huh? So, and then there's another part. I never covered this part in the middle, though. There's a happy feeling at the home of Farmer Gray. It'll be the perfect ending for the perfect day. We're singing the songs we love to sing without a single stop. That's it. Yeah, so. Then you change key. Yeah. Where did that go? So you're right back up to that. And you just kind of play that a lot. And then shift back up, modulate back to the F. Then you get to get wacky. Excuse me. And then, of course, you... That's it. Something like that. Actually, I do think that I played that slightly wrong. I think it's down to there, so there's that. Yeah. Yes, there was that. So for the first part. That's it right there, yes. And that is blues. F sharp, G, and then B flat. Which is a great thing. That's it. That's, by the way, C sharp minor. So... I think my dexterity is starting to limit me a bit. So, but at any rate, I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I am going to have to bail. But if any of that you found useful or helpful, please, by all means, be kind, rewind, and hit the slow stuff. So I'd be happy to explain more of it next week. Next week's is the Christmas show, after all. But Small Town Titans. You're a mean one, Mr. Grant. Oh, is that something I need to look up? I will. I'll do it now. I'm really a fan of something you don't find very much anymore. It's called Team Starborg. I'm used to Team Star Kid, but Starborg does this great thing with some Tchaikovsky. Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairies. He calls it Dance of the Sugar Plum Glutton. Oh, I think I've seen this. Hey, man, good night to you both. Good night to all three of you. I don't know how many of y'all are out there, but good night to every single one of you, and I appreciate you stopping by and letting me talk a whole bunch of nonsense tonight. Oh, yeah, this is great.
Mr. Grinch.
I have heard this. This is spectacular. And it's a good send-off.
Are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus and as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. Just raise the music, you're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you either. 39.5-foot pole. You're a firewood, Mr. Grinch. You got termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Well, given the choice between the two of you, I would take the
Why not? That's great. So if anybody's curious, it's essentially in D minor.
You're a
With a few
foul
chromaticisms.
one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, nasty skunk.
Cheers to you, brother. I will see you in the morning. And I will probably be
Your
dragging
heart
some
is full
serious
of
ass, but I'll be
unwashed
trying.
socks and your soul
Good night, everybody.
is full of gunk.
Let me turn this
Mr.
to a nice fade. No! Sudden shutdown. It's great. All right. Good night, everybody. Seriously. Thanks for stopping in. Play faster. I'll see you next week.